Hey everyone, welcome back to Veteran Game, the place where we break down the best, worst, and straight up wildest games in the business. If you love deep dives, bold opinions, and a little bit of spell-slinging chaos, you're in the right place. And before we unleash this magical mayhem, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our legendary game breakdowns. Alright, let's conjure up some hot takes. Wizard of Legend 2. Just let that title sink in for a second, because I'm willing to bet you didn't have the first truly great multiplayer wizard roguelike of the year on your 2025 bingo card. And yet here we are. A game that takes what made the original a cult hit, supercharges it with slick new 3D visuals, online co-op, and a design philosophy that's obviously been peeking at Hades' homework, but also isn't afraid to scribble all over the margins. Right out of the gate, you know this isn't the pixel art brawler you remember from 2018. Wizard of Legend 2 ditches the chunky sprites for a sharp, vibrant cartoon look. You get detailed wizard portraits, hand-animated spells bursting off the screen, and enough particle effects to make your GPU start sweating. It looks phenomenal, especially in motion. If you've ever wanted your favorite dungeon crawler to feel like an animated series, this is basically it. But the most noticeable change, it's all about going online. Up to 4 players can dive into these dungeons together, mixing spells, stacking damage, and occasionally, often, accidentally blasting each other off a cliff with a rogue tornado or fireball. Is it chaos? Absolutely. Is it fun? Oh, it's a riot if you've got friends who love a challenge and can laugh off a little friendly fire. Now, let's not sugarcoat things. If you're flying solo, the experience is still solid, but you might feel that missing spark that true co-op chaos brings. The game clearly wants you to rally your wizard squad and dive in together. I mean, yes, you can grind solo, but you're missing out on half the spectacle. And before you ask, no, you don't need to have played the first game. This sequel stands on its own arcane feet and even manages to build a fresh identity. Speaking of identity, let's talk about how Wizard of Legend 2 feels to play. If you've sunk any time into Hades, or honestly any of the modern roguelikes that balance tight combat with randomized chaos, you'll feel right at home here. Fast movement, satisfying dashes, environmental hazards everywhere, and spells that fire off like you're the most caffeinated mage on the block. Each run is a sprint through enemy gauntlets, filled with traps, pitfalls, armored goons, and bosses who definitely didn't skip leg day. The core of the action is all about arcana, your spells, and these aren't just fireball, ice shard, repeat. There are 4 arcana slots for every build, and you can go all in on one element or mix them for combo effects. Want to freeze an entire room and then shatter everything with a lightning blast? You can. Want to teleport, punch, and drop a meteor in one combo? Do it. And the best part is that you're always experimenting, swapping out spells you find in the wild, testing relics that boost certain play styles, and trying to find that one busted combo that melts a boss before they even get their attack pattern started. Except it's not that easy. One of the only real complaints you might hear is that not every spell feels equally satisfying. Some of the basic arcana are a little underwhelming, especially at the start. There's this martial arts vibe to a lot of your starting attacks, which can feel more like wizard kung fu than omnipotent arcane blast. Still, the good news is that the truly wild stuff, massive lasers, insane AoE, weird utility spells, starts showing up the further you push, and every run becomes a hunt for that next overpowered drop. It's a system that feels designed for replay value. No 2 runs are quite the same, because the game leans hard into procedural generation, randomizing levels, enemy types, and the loot you find. That classic just one more run feeling. Wizard of Legend 2 absolutely nails it. Even when you get bodied by a boss and lose everything, you're back at the hub, eyeing up unlocks, planning your next build, and if you're like me, instantly queuing up again. Speaking of bosses, let's talk about the challenge. Wizard of Legend 2 is no joke. Compared to Hades, the difficulty curve is noticeably steeper. Bosses are less predictable, attacks are less telegraphed, and environmental hazards are everywhere. If you're used to reading patterns and dodging through bullet hell chaos, get ready for some humbling moments, especially with the game's obsession with knockback, pitfalls and rooms that feel like they were designed by a wizard who really hates other wizards. Some people will love that extra edge. Others will curse every time they get launched off the map by a stray attack or land directly in a spike pit because the boss went off script. Honestly, it makes victory feel earned. Every win is a little badge of honor, a mark that you learned the run, nailed the combo, and didn't let the RNG gods clown you too hard. The multiplayer side isn't just tacked on either. The spell system is built for synergy, with combos that become absolutely insane when coordinated with friends. One player can freeze a crowd, another detonates a lightning storm, a third drops healing, and the fourth just sets the room on fire because, well, why not? The more you play together, the more you realize just how many strategies are possible, especially when the AI scales up and the game throws extra challenges at bigger groups. Now, if you're the type of player who lives for solo roguelikes, you can still have a great time. The AI adapts, the dungeons are just as deadly, and the game rewards persistence and smart play. But there's no hiding it. Wizard of Legend 2 is best enjoyed as a team sport. Grab some friends, start arguing about builds, and get ready to wipe hilariously as you all try to survive the gauntlet. A huge part of what sells the experience is the new art direction. Ditching pixel art for a hybrid 3D cartoon style is a risky move, but honestly it pays off. Spell effects look gorgeous, environments are varied and atmospheric, and everything just feels more alive. There's a sense of energy, color, and motion that makes every fight pop. Even when the screen gets totally wild, enemies, explosions, elemental effects everywhere, you can always keep track of the action thanks to some smart visual design. Music and sound do their part too. Every spell has a distinct audio cue. Bosses make the whole room shake, and the soundtrack adapts from high energy bangers to mysterious, chill dungeon themes depending on where you are. It's the kind of soundtrack you'd happily keep on in the background while you grind out a few more runs, or just hype yourself up before you and your crew hop back in for another attempt. Replay value off the charts. The dungeons are randomly generated, the loot pool is enormous. There are dozens of spells and relics to unlock, and the game never punishes you for experimenting. You can play the same build 10 times and have a different run each time just because of how much is going on under the hood. And for all the challenge, it never feels grindy or cheap, just tough, fair, and always rewarding skill and creativity. If you're a longtime fan of the first Wizard of Legend, you'll notice the changes right away. Some people will gripe about the move away from pure pixel art, or the extra focus on co-op, or the tweaks to progression. But honestly, if you go in with an open mind and let yourself play around with the new systems, you'll see this is more than just a sequel. It's a full-on reimagining that respects the original, but isn't afraid to take risks. Of course, it's not perfect. The early game could use a bit more variety, some spells feel a bit weak, and there are minor gripes like wanting more granular settings or a more robust tutorial, especially for new players. And let's be real, multiplayer roguelikes live or die on stable servers, so if your internet or the game's matchmaking acts up, you'll feel it. But those are small bumps in what's otherwise a slick, addictive, and deeply replayable action roguelike. Wizard of Legend 2 doesn't just chase the magic of Hades and its own original, it brews up something all its own, full of wild spell-slinging co-op laughs, and the kind of challenge that'll keep you up at night trying to perfect that one last run. So should you play Wizard of Legend 2? If you like action, challenge, magic, or just flexing on bosses with your best friend, salutely. It's one of the most energetic and surprising roguelikes of the year, and it's got enough style, substance, and replay value to keep you hooked for a long time. Whether you're a Hades fan, a Wizard of Legend veteran, or just someone who loves fast, flashy dungeon crawling, this one's worth your time. That's all for this review, but I want to know what you think. Have you tried Wizard of Legend 2 yet? Are you all about that co-op, or do you fly solo like a true arcane loner? Drop your wildest spell combos or your salt boss fails in the comments. And if you want more brutally honest deep dive gaming content, don't forget to subscribe to Veteran Game and hit that bell. Until next time, keep dashing, keep casting, and remember, in the roguelike world, fortune favors the bold. See you in the next run.